Hello everyone and welcome to night number 3 of our SWE Bloodsport tournament. 4 more big first round matches are lined up for you here this evening with some very big names indeed as well as we put some more people through to round number 2. And here we go then, we are underway with two men who I think have actually tagged together a few times in NXT, but now going against each other here this evening in round 1 of our Bloodsport tournament. We have got Timothy Thatcher going up against Tommaso Ciampa, so this should be a very interesting one. I would say that Ciampa's probably the slight favourite in this one, but I mean this really could go either way, to be honest. I think both of them are pretty strong in this, but maybe... oh, God, Ciampa goes flying into the steel cage. Maybe Thatcher's style here might just be a tiny bit more used to this type of match. And of course the rules of this, if you don't already know, these matches all take place inside a steel cage. The only way to win is by submission or knockout. No pinfalls, no escapes, and of course because of the steel cage, no interference, there's no excuses. It's just two guys in a cage fighting until one of them has to give in. As Ciampa laying down those strikes into the face. And now looking to hook back on the legs, in with a cloverleaf style submission. As you see, Thatcher busted open, a cut above that right eye. Thatcher now around the back, and a torture rack now here on Thatcher before spinning him round into the powerbomb. And Ciampa in firm control, as I said. I thought that might be the case with Ciampa, to be honest, here. Got some big matches tonight, including our big main event. As we take, I say a big main event, we take two of the smaller members of this tournament. And we go with Bryan Danielson up against Kushida. Of course, Danielson going to try and win this one by using his submission skills. Kushida does have an MMA record. Fought quite a few times in MMA. Both guys back on their feet now. Ciampa sending Thatcher straight into the cage. And the thing is with them sort of attacks is they do a lot of damage and they cause a lot of pain. So when you do eventually lock in that submission, it can be very, very painful indeed. As once again, Ciampa locking in with that cloverleaf. But Thatcher able to break free. Thatcher, strong right hand in the face, then locking in that sleeper hold. Oh, grapevines the legs as well, Coquina clutch style. Can Ciampa survive? He is. He's back up on his feet as well. Thatcher catching Ciampa and sends him across with the hip toss. Ciampa now with a big back elbow into the face before absolutely flattering Thatcher once again. Slap in the face, and Ciampa now with the strikes back and forth. Big chops here by Thatcher. And now Ciampa with that spinning, oh, neck breaker, but slamming Thatcher face first into the mat. Not enough to knock Thatcher out, but what's Ciampa got planned here? The big knee right, no, he missed. I think Thatcher was just about able to avoid that knee in the side of the head, and that probably would have been game, set, match. But the Project Ciampa, the knees into the spine, still not enough to keep Thatcher down. As Ciampa now taking Thatcher, no, looking to take him up, but Thatcher fought back, big clothesline. Thatcher now in control. And oh, look at those strikes right into the side of the face of Ciampa, but he does stay on his feet, fights back. Thatcher went for the dropkick. Ciampa was able to avoid. Ciampa now bringing Thatcher back up. Thatcher's been bleeding since a very early part of this match, and obviously that is going to take effect eventually. Like I've said before, liquid energy running from your skull, and that has been since very early on in this match. Ciampa now, look at those big strikes in the uppercut, and Thatcher crumpled there, but still going just about as Ciampa going to fold Thatcher over into that cloverleaf submission. This is the third time in the match he's locked it in. Is the damage done? Is Thatcher going to have to tap? Or can he survive one more time? No. Well, he can survive, but I think Ciampa let go, thinking that he's got another idea in mind, which is a butterfly in, slamming Thatcher face first, and Ciampa gets the victory here. Ciampa moves on to round number 2. Let's see where they sit now then. So Tommaso Ciampa was on -2. That win's going to move him up to -1. And Timothy Thatcher was on -3. That loss moves him down to -4 in the rankings. Not great for him at all, is it really? And of course Thatcher moves on to... No, sorry, no, he doesn't. Ciampa moves on to round number 2. Right, let's move on. And here we go then, match number 2 of the evening. We've got Rezar going against Tomohiro Ishii. This should be an easy one. I would imagine that Ishii would be the favourite in this one. Rezar does have an MMA background before he joined WWE, hence why he is part of this tournament. This is a really good core, isn't it? Nice. Almost like a Walls of Jericho locked in there by Ishii on Rezar, but Rezar does fight back. These are two big solid men to stick inside a cage together. Nice running power slam there by Rezar. Rezar now slamming his boot into the hand of Ishii. Big swinging right hand, and Rezar in a lot more control this match than I expected. I really thought Ishii would possibly be a dominant force in this one. Rezar now completely crushing the head of Ishii. Nice clothesline, flattens Rezar once again. Rezar now of Ishii up and drops him face first across that top rope. Remember that top rope is solid woven steel. It is not pleasant to be bumped on the head with, I can tell you that to start. And now Ishii, though, is starting to get some sort of offense back. And I don't know what happened there with Rezar. He just decided he wanted to headbutt the cage there, I think. Wow. It's amazing how quickly Ishii pops up that Walls of Jericho style submission. That high-angled Boston Crab. Obviously trying to work down that body for later on for a bigger submission potentially. Rezar with a strike in the face of Ishii. Now in with that Russian leg sweep. Rezar now just dumping a boot and another boot and a third boot right into the hand of Ishii. And again raining down those boots into the hand. Oh, look at those. Oh, that's brutal. Rezar really trying to work that hand down. Maybe that's the hand he's going to focus on potentially for a submission. Or is he just going to go for a knockout with that massive spine buster? And Rezar is doing awesome here. Oh, commentator's curse. There we go. As Ishii now gets around the back of Rezar with that German suplex. Right in the back of the head of Rezar. Rezar now in with a dragon screw. Again, a boot on the hand, and then somehow the pair of them managed to break the laws of physics and just the laws of anything. The laws of reality for a second there as well. But now we're into a camel clutch. This is the reason why Rezar was fired, because he's not working the hard cam properly. He should be doing that camel clutch the other way around. That boot in the face there by Ishii. And then Rezar returns the favour with boot in the face to Ishii himself. Rezar now with Ishii up on the shoulders before slamming him into the actual cage. Ishii rolls back underneath the bottom rope. He's back up though, looking for the PK to the shin of Rezar, but Rezar saw it come in and in with that big Uranagi style slam. Ishii fights back though. And look at these boots right in the face. Oh. Wow, Rezar busted open as well. That big third boot was massive and busted open Rezar pretty heavily there above his left eye. And this could be the opening that Ishii needed, because he wasn't doing that great, to be honest. I think Rezar was dominating the majority of this match, but that cut that Ishii has caused Rezar could be enough to turn this one around. Nice German suplex once again. Dropping Rezar in the back of his head. Ishii now locking in that crossarm bar. Rezar fighting back with the strikes. Rezar now taking Ishii up on the shoulders. Ishii sliding back and just chops away at the back of the knee of Rezar. And now Ishii stalking. If he can lock in and drop that brainbuster, that could be enough to finish Rezar off. He does take him up and he drops him with the brainbuster, and it is enough to finish Rezar off. And Ishii moves through to round number 2. He was on +2 in the rankings, moves up to +3, whereas Rezar, half of the Authors of Pain, were also on +2. And he's going to move down to +1. And Ishii moves through. Ishii then will face off against Tommaso Ciampa in the next round. It's amazing how much this Tom Lawlor core actually looks like John Morrison. I don't know why. I didn't think it did when I first downloaded it, but now I look at it on the entrance, it looks a bit weird, doesn't it? But here we go then, match number 3 of the evening. Braun Strowman takes on Tom Lawlor. Tom Lawlor, of course, extensive MMA background. Braun Strowman is a big guy. Is used to using submissions and so forth. So it'll be interesting which one these two do come out on top of this one. I think, obviously, the style of what they're aiming for, I feel like Tom Lawlor would be the favourite. However, with the size and strength advantage that Braun has, that could be a lot more trickier than anyone really expects. Massive choke slam. Sorry, I got a message there I just responded to. Tom Lawlor in with a DDT now on Strowman. Strowman now bringing Lawlor back up. Lawlor with the elbow in the gut, and now pump kick. Big uppercut. And a forearm right in the spine. Another one as well by Lawlor, sending Strowman into the corner. Big knees right into the gut now by Lawlor. Big running clothesline by Strowman. Now Strowman turning Lawlor over into a Boston Crab. And will that be enough? I mean, Strowman's a lot of weight to have on your back when it's being bent like that. And here we go, Strowman, like I said, getting caught by Lawlor. Lawlor does have the MMA background. He does have this submission background. And I think this is it's going to be power over technique here. And it's going to be which one of those two do come out on top. Nice sidewalk slam by Strowman. Strowman now bringing Lawlor back up. And Strowman taking Lawlor up. No, Lawlor rolls it through. Lawlor with a strike in the face, and now locking in that submission. Will this be enough? Has he got Strowman locked down? Strowman seems to be struggling, really trying to wiggle his way free from Lawlor's grasp, and he does eventually do so. Lawlor now knocking up to the middle rope. And a big clubbing blow into the back. Strowman, oh, big choke slam dropping Lawlor, who slammed the back of his head into the mat as well. Strowman now taking Lawlor up onto the shoulders and drops him. And Strowman gets the win in the battle between technique and power. It looks like power comes up trumps. Right, let's update this then. Strowman moves up to +3. And Lawlor is going to move down to 0. There we go. Right, we shall move on to our main event of the evening. And here we go then, main event of the evening time. Bryan Danielson versus Kushida. Now, Kushida does have a history of MMA. He has had several MMA fights and won quite a lot of them as well. So he might be the favourite for this one just because he does have that experience. However, Bryan Danielson, he is the man of 1,000 holds who knows reversals for them all. So again, I would not write him off at all. He is very adept with submission wrestling, and that's all he needs to do. If he can knock in a submission on Kushida, it could be game, set, match. So yeah, very interesting. I would say Bryan's the favourite, but because of the experience in this match type, Kushida also has a very good opportunity. The winner of this one then will be taking on Braun Strowman in the next round. Which, as we know, is going to be quite tricky because, as we've just seen in the previous match, Braun is very good at using his strength. He's very good at basically just outdoing people with his strength rather than, like I said, Lawlor had all the technique. But yeah, he had the technique, but it just wasn't enough. Kushida now brings Danielson back up. Danielson fights back. Kushida rolls him through. Bryan now in with the launch, basically. Now wrenching back at the arm. Kushida now stalking. And a big drop kick into the face. Big drop kick once again. And now Danielson gets... Oh, Kushida was looking for that running strike right into the head. Not quite enough, though. Looking for that moonsault. Danielson avoids. And Danielson now has the arm under control before wrenching back. Danielson now, straight away locking in with that knee bar. As Kushida fights back. Kushida now with the strikes and then in with that big DDT. Kushida now wrenching away. But Bryan Danielson fighting back and there's that running knee strike. And Danielson now wrenching back at the arm. Really wrenching. Look how far he's going back. Really brutalizing that arm. Danielson now wrenching back on the arm. And Kushida's in trouble here. How much of this can he take? He can't take any more as he already taps and Danielson makes short work here of Kushida. Wow, I wasn't expecting that to be so one-sided, to be honest. Where is he? Danielson was on +9. This is going to put him up to +10. Whereas Kushida... Kushida is on -1. It's going to put him down to -2. So there we go. Bryan Danielson moves into round number 2 to face off against Braun Strowman. Right, that is it for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed. Of course, if you have, hit the like, subscribe, all the other good stuff. And I will see you all again next time. And we'll love you and leave you. Good night.